Hi, my name's Phil Gardner and welcome to Fun with Boxes. Well, today we're taking a look at another game from Outset Media. So get your dancing shoes on, get those hips wiggling. I never thought I would say anything like that to you, but there you go. Because we are taking a look at the game Lambada, the card game that's a carnival of colours from Outset Media Games. And this is a game for 2 to 6 players and will take around 25 minutes to play and is designed by Luis Dinis. I hope I pronounced your name right there. Now then, what is Lambada apart from a dance? Well, you are going to be trying to outsmart your friends, strategically playing letter cards on top of the word Lambada while avoiding the tricky forbidden colour. Outplay your opponents in a race to empty your hand. So, let's take a look at how to set up and how to play this rather lovely card game. Okay, so let's take a look at what we've got in a Lambada, the card game that's a carnival of colours. Okay, so we've got the rules book, which we'll be going through how to set up and how to play this in a moment. We've got some tiles here, some circular tiles, and I think these are actually victory tokens for the game. All very bright and colourful. And then we've got the deck of cards then. And we're going to get a bunch of lettered cards in 7 different colours. These. And we're also going to get 7 starting cards that are going to spell the word Lambada. Now, the object of the game is to be the first player to get rid of all your cards by playing them onto the word Lambada while avoiding the forbidden colour. And the first player to empty their hand is going to win the round. Okay, so let's set up the game. Now, first things first, we're going to arrange the 7 grey starting cards on the table to spell the word Lambada. So we need to make sure we give the deck of cards a good old shuffle as always. And then we're going to deal 7 cards to each player. I'm just going to set up a 2-player game just to show you how the game works. So now each player may look at their cards, but they should keep them hidden from other players. Next, what we need to do is draw 2 cards from the top of the deck and place them onto the matching letters. Now, if 2 identical cards were drawn, you'd replace them so that 2 different colours and 2 different letters are visible. And 2 different coloured A's will count as 2 different letters. So we're fine here. And what we would do finally with the deck of cards, we would flip these over and place them somewhere on the table in easy reach of all the players. And this card now becomes what is known as the forbidden colour. So now, starting with the youngest player and moving clockwise, each player must play 1 card from their hand on top of any matching letter. Now, cards played must always match the letter, but played cards do not need to match the colour below them. And you may even play the forbidden colour. Now, depending on the card played, 1 of 3 scenarios will occur. So let's take a look at the first scenario, matching the colour. So if I take a look at my hand here, I can see that I've got some yellow cards, and there is a yellow letter card out on the word and a blue letter card. Now, the forbidden colour is blue, so what I could do is I could play a yellow card onto the L here. Now, if the colour played matches any colour already on Lambada, and is not the forbidden colour, then the player gets to pass one of their hand cards to the player on their left, and their turn then ends. So for example, perhaps I would pass this card to the player on my left. Now, one thing you do have to watch out for here is the 5th colour penalty. Now, if the card we played makes it so that there are 5 or more of the same colour lettered cards visible, then the player will draw 3 cards and end their turn, and no cards are passed to the left. So keep an eye out for that 5th colour penalty. Now if we go on to my opponent's turn, now you will notice that they do not have any colours that match any of the colours on the word. So they are going to have the second scenario, which is a non-matching colour penalty. So what they could do, for example, is play this green A out. Now it doesn't match one of the existing colours on the word, and so that person draws from the top of the face-up deck a card, adds it to their hand, and no cards are passed to the left, and that's the end of their turn. Now the third example here is where if I was to play a yellow card, so for example if I was to put this yellow A out, if the colour played matches the forbidden colour, then the player will draw 3 cards and end their turn. So I'd have to draw 1, 2, 3 and end my turn, and of course no cards are passed to the left. And you will notice as the game progresses then, as people are collecting penalties, that the forbidden colour is going to change throughout the game. Now, how does the round end? If a player plays or passes their last card, they are going to win the round, and they will collect one of these tokens. Now, however, the following victory condition must be met. All of the 7 starting grey cards must have coloured lettered cards covering them. So at the moment, the round cannot end because there's still the grey B left on the table. So if it was my turn, I could play the B because it's matching the colour of a card already on the word. The word Lambada is now complete and colourful, and I get to pass my card, and it happens to be my last remaining card, to the person on the left, and then that's going to end the round, and the player shouts Lambada, selects a victory token, and then the rules say they may perform a celebratory dance and wiggle those hips Lambada style. Or if you're like me, you'll just sit there rather quiet and perhaps look a little smug. Now, after the round has ended, you gather up all the coloured cards, leaving the grey starting cards on the table, and then reshuffle and set up the game for the next round. And the winner of the previous round will start that next round. Now, winning the game, the first player to win 3 rounds in a 2 to 4 player game, or 2 rounds in a 5 to 6 player game, will win the game and celebrate by shouting, of course, Lambada, and may dance around the table Lambada style. Or if you're just like me, you just look slightly happy with yourself and look forward to playing another game. Okay, some additional notes here. If the victory conditions aren't met and a player plays their last card but does not follow a colour, or if the grey starting cards are still visible, the player must draw 1 card from the draw pile ending their turn. So for example, if I was to play this card here onto the B, I've matched a colour, so I get to pass my card to the player on my left, so I'm now out of cards, but the word Lambada hasn't been filled with colours, so I cannot win this round. Instead, I have to take 1 card from the top of the deck. Now, if a played card results in more than 1 penalty being earned, then the player will simply take the worst penalty. And if a player is not caught playing an illegal card before the next player takes their turns, then they get away with it, and the card played remains in play without penalty. And if the draw pile should ever run out, you would collect all the cards underneath the top layer of coloured cards, leaving only the starting cards and any top letters on them. And then you reshuffle the cards to form a new draw pile. And that's it. That's how you play Lambada. Well, there you go. Lambada. What a delightful little filler game this is. We had tremendous fun playing this. We've only played it a 2-player, so I can't wait to take this to somewhere like the Acorn Board Game Convention in Telford coming up very, very soon, and see what this is like with more players, because we certainly had a heap of fun just with 2. So that is Lambada, and it's a lovely little card game that I would highly recommend checking out. Well, I do hope you enjoyed taking a look at this with me. If you did, please consider hitting the old like button, and please also hit that subscribe button if you would be so kind, because that would really help to grow the channel. And in the meantime, as always, thanks so much for watching. Please do take care, and bye for now.